Hello and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today's episode will be looking at the Barnet League 2025 to 2026 season. I'm going to start off looking at the Veterans Division. Veterans Division has a bunch of weird playoffs as well, and I don't know if they're fully completed, but we're just going to look at the league season. So 10 teams. There was a lot more teams last season. I think there was a West and an East division. The West division's completely gone. We've just been left with the East division. So Belstone, again, top. An unbeaten season in the league. They also won the Middlesex Veterans Cup as well. Very dominant season. 52 goals scored for them in 9 games and only 4 conceded as well. Highgate Albion in second. They were only 3 points back, but you can look at the difference in goals scored and goals against. 52 for Belstone, we said, and 4 conceded. Highgate scoring 22 goals, which is still decent, over 2 goals a game, and 11 goals conceded, which is only just over 1 goal a game. But compared to what Belstone did, it paled in significance. And even to the teams that come third and fourth, London Lions Vets, who did end up winning the Veterans Cup, the Lee Scott Cup against Belstone as well. They had 21 points from 9 games, 7 wins, 2 losses. Goal difference of 19. Trent Park again. They got to the Middlesex Veterans Cup final and lost to Belstone, but again a goal difference of 22. They scored 35 goals in their 9 games. Then you had Muswell Hill in 5th, Alexandria Park Vets in 6th, London Turkish Masters Vets in 7th. They actually won the Lee Scott Cup last year, so a bit more of a disappointing campaign for them. Crouch End Vampires Vets only winning 1 game this season, ended up on 5 points. And then North Ballers Vets picking up 2 points for the season, and Roving Reporters Vets finishing bottom. Only 1 draw for them this season. So that's the Veterans Division. We're not going to really, dwell on the Veterans Division too much because we don't know as much as the other divisions. But yeah, we're going to move on to Division 4. One of the divisions in the Barnet League that did have a couple of pullouts, I believe. I believe there was either 9 or 10 teams in it. There was definitely 9 because Toulons were in it. They struggled mightily, and they were out of the league within 3 or 4 months. And then Enfield Alphas, I don't think had the availability of players that they did the season before, and they were gone halfway through the season as well. But yeah, we're just going to look at it as well. North London Colts returned to the league, and it was 12 games, 12 losses for them. I believe they did actually beat like Toulons or something, or Enfield Alphas, but obviously them games got wiped. Roving Reporters finishing 12 points above them, second bottom, 12 points, in 12 games. 3 wins, 3 draws and 6 losses as well. So I mean, they did come second bottom, but they only lost half their games. So it shows they were competitive. As with New Barnet, 17 points, 5 wins, 2 draws and 5 losses. And a positive goal difference as well. As were Ammonia Youth under 18s, having the same record. Bit more polished up front for the youngsters. But again, the youthful, what's it called? The youthful ignorance. Not ignorance, we're going to go for. But yeah, the youthfulness meant that they conceded goals as well. Didn't have the experience. They had youthful inexperience meant that although they were probably, had a bit more pace, a bit more energy, a bit more fitness than some of the older teams like New Barnet and Roving Reporters, quite old teams. Definitely compared to an under 18 team, they didn't have like the tactical experience that they did, and they ended up conceding a fair few more goals than the other teams in the league. But 17 points, and they'll get stronger next year. Nissi seconds, finishing third. Don't know what to make about Nissi seconds. They've got a couple of decent players, but they just seem to, have people thrown from different kind of teams, and they've kind of had to make it work. Decent season for them. I mean, they finished third, distant third as well, to be fair. Southgate Rovers, 9 wins, 3 losses, 27 points. The league went down to the last day. Obviously, they didn't have it in their hands. They did all they could do, and had to wait for Radlett Town to finish out their games. Actually had a minus goal difference as well. Minus 2 goal difference. But did well as well, the last few years for them, they've kind of been struggling towards the bottom end of the table, losing games quite heavily, having to rely on Hakan to save them. It was a bit more refreshing that they actually had, a positive, outcome in most of their games as well. 9 wins and 3 losses, where it's been the reverse usually for them. So it's good to see them ended up coming second. But Radlett Town, statistically wise, you can see that they deserved it. Second most goals scored. They ended up conceding the least goals and having the best goal difference as well. So congratulations to Radlett Town for winning the Division 4 title. We're just going to look at the top scorers as well. Top scorer was Alessandro Rizzoli, must be in the name. 18 goals from Monya Youth under 18s. Chris Spyro, second, with 17. Godfrey Burko, the guy is just, aging like fine wine. Another 16 goals for him. Elliot McGovern, 15 goals for him from North London Colts. Always seems to score goals. And we're going to round off the top 5 with Oscar Whitmore, boss. What a name. What a boss name. He got 14 goals from Monya Youth under 18s. So we're going to move on now to Division 3. And this was the division my team win, AC Finchley. Armenian Youth finishing bottom. Very difficult start to the season, and although it got better towards the end of the season, ended up picking up a big win over Whetstone. A very surprising win, but a very dominant win. It was the start of the season that kind of derailed them. They ended up on 9 points from 14 games, 59 goals scored. They scored 38 as well, so they weren't the lowest scoring team in the league by far, but they were definitely the team that conceded the most and had the lowest goal difference. But yeah, there was periods of the season where they were competitive against anyone in the league, but there was just no consistency, and I think there was a lot of player availability as well, issues that kind of derailed their season. Obviously, they got to the Junior Cup semi-final, we beat them in that, but apart from that, not much to write home about. Continental, second bottom. Stats are going to be a bit skewed here. 23 goals scored, 31 conceded. Not doing much in some cups. I think they got to a Middlesex Junior Cup semi-final and crashed out of that, but I think they gave about 3 or 4 walkovers this season. So the goal difference might not look as bad as it should do. They gave us 2 walkovers. I don't know I think they gave Whetstone a walkover as well. So again, player availability issues. Continental have obviously been Division 3 champions in the past, and they've also been in the Premier Division over the years. So they've some of their experienced heads have played in the Premier Division. But again, it's another season where you're looking at Continental and thinking, what's going to be in Continental's future? How are they going to recover from this? If they've got player availability issues, where do they go next? Racing Keeblers, Sixth place, 40 goals scored from their 14 games. So they know how to find the net, nearly 3 goals a game. But they also know how to concede goals. They conceded 47 goals in 14 games as well. That's over 3 goals a game. Playing them, you can see that attack is definitely the best form of defence for them. They've got a very good, front three. Midfielders are pretty decent as well. Defensive line, not so much. Keepers a bit, eccentric. We'll go with because he made a couple of really good saves against us, and then a couple of shots just went through his body, and and you'd think the guy didn't know how to dive. Decent season for them. They had a decent run in the cup as well. I can't remember if they got knocked out in the quarterfinals. Played Whetzone well a couple of games as well. I believe in the quarterfinal of either the Junior Cup or the Richard Martin Cup, they played them quite well. I think they only lost 4-3. So I think they're a young team as well, so plenty to build on for the future seasons. East Finchley as well, good recovery as well from them. Really poor start to the season. They had a lot of availability issues. We know fully well about that. They turned up with 7 men to play us, and we ended up beating them 10-0, which, if you think about it, playing against 10 men, I say at the time, people would go to me, why were you upset you're playing 7 men? But, you got to show them a bit more respect. We were kind of taking a piss a little bit up front, but we ended up winning and moving on. They ended up beating us, I believe, the week before the Junior Cup final, 3-1 as well, and we weren't at the races that day. There was a better end to the season for them. I think they sorted a lot of their player availability issues out, and they improved to finish mid-table. Enfield Albion in 4th place. We managed to beat them in the Richard Martin Memorial Cup semi-final. Probably one of the better games that I had this year, to be fair, of the games that I played. I didn't play that much, but that game I think I played really well. Obviously I think I had a calf or hamstring problem in that game that I picked up playing on Saturdays, but I think I done really well. I made a really good save at the end of the first half at 1-1, and then made another big save at 2-1 down. Even the second goal, I made a really good save from the free kick and got really unlucky. The ball got trapped between my legs, and kind of the referee didn't see it get kicked out, and they ended up scoring. Claiming, running out and blocking shots, and putting my body on the line. And it was the same in the Roger Jones Cup match against Enfield Albion. We really weren't on it that day, and to be fair, the scoreline there, losing 4-1 was, probably the turning point of our season as well, because Alex gave a very good speech, and a very passionate speech, and he kind of put us to the side and said, how much he believed in us, and if we wanted to get to a final and we wanted to win stuff, that we had to put a lot more effort in. And I believe from that point on, most of the games we actually showed and applied that effort, and that's what led to us kind of winning the cups as well, was that applied effort. And then it's us in third. Good season for us. I kind of didn't really know what to expect from us this season, but 3 or 4, 5 games in, I thought yeah, we can get to like. I didn't think we were going to win the league, especially after we lost 4-0 to Whetstone. I thought they were just a bit, class above us at that time, and but I was very adamant that we could have finished third or second very easily. I thought we were a lot better than most of the other teams in the league, and we lost 3 games. 2 of those games, I believe, were winnable games. Games if we turned up, we shouldn't have lost. We lost to Camden in the first game of the double header, and then ended up turning it on and beating them 4-0 in the second game. And then obviously the loss against East Finchley, where we didn't really show up. But there was other games where we drew, especially against Armenian Youth. We drew to them in the league, and we could have easily lost that game if it weren't for James. He played really well in that game. Saved 2 penalties in that game as well. But there was other games where we drew and could have won. We should have beaten Racing Keeblers both games. We drew both games. So, the cup win doesn't mask. I wouldn't say like the cup win makes the season good, because I think we actually did play well in the league, and I think maybe we did deserve to win a couple more games, but I think we should be proud of our efforts in the league as well. And obviously reaching the County Cup semi-final. Obviously the game didn't go the way we wanted to in the semi-final, but it was still a good achievement from us to get that far. Camden actually finished second, despite they scored the second most goals in the league as well. 51 goals, conceded 43. We know what they're about. They're very good going forward, extremely good going forward. And again, like Racing Keeblers, not very good at the back. A team that can make it difficult for you as well, especially when you're chasing a game. They're a team that are very good in the lead, and I think if they kind of shore up that defence, they can progress forward, because they've actually got some very good players going forward in my eyes. And then Whetstone winning the league, 1 loss all season. I thought it was going to be the invincible season for them in the league, but they ended up running into Armenian Youth and getting a pasting 5-2 as well in that game. We drew to them towards the end of the season as well, a game that we could have won. They came back into it well, to be fair, and showed their quality. They got a lot of quality, to be fair, Whetstone. Attack, defence, midfield, all around, very good team. And they fully deserve to win the league at the end of the day. We're just going to run through top 5 scorers. It's Ronaldo, top scorer this year again. Aaron Maddison, there's levels to it, mate. There's levels to it. 31 goals for him. Marius from Borelli Camden missed the yellow cards, ending up with 26 goals, scored 26 yellow cards as well. Tommy, 26 goals for him. Tommy Pigeon, very good player as well for Whetstone. Them 2 up front, very dangerous. Then 4th, Romain Bogle as well, from Enfield Albion. Really underrated player. I actually think he was one of the hardest players I played against this season. Very good, very direct winger. I think he was one of the players that caused us a lot of problems when we played against them. And then Ben Edmonds from Racing Keeblers, very much. He's got 17 goals from 11 games. Very much a focal point to everything that Racing Keeblers do offensively, to be honest. They always seem to aim it towards him and look to play off him. Okay, so moving on, Division 2. I think this was the only division that didn't have a team drop out. because we did. Camden Union dropped out before the start of the season, so we were meant to have another team in our league. But Shentry finally winning a legitimate, and I mean it, a legitimate Division 2 title. If you know, you know. So congratulations to them. Had a great season. They got to the Roger Jones Senior Challenge Cup semi-final, and they also got to the AFA Cup final as well. So that's a massive achievement for them. 39 goals scored, 20 goals conceded, and a big win for them towards the end of the season against Muswell Hill. Last game of the season, fully deserved that. Muswell Hill in second. London Junior Cup champions as well this season. 52 goals scored, 40 conceded. I think that's the 40 conceded that kind of, made it that Shentry would win the league over Muswell Hill. Oakwood in third, way behind the rest of the teams in this league, but 4 teams ended up with 27 points. Oakwood were one of them. They won the championship last season and somehow managed to be in Division 2 this season. I obviously think that some of the players that played in that team were not playing in this team, but a lot of them were. A lot of them were playing in this team. London Football School in 4th. North East Lions in 5th. Sparta Finchley in 6th. They all finished on 27 points. Ammonia Youth seconds on 25. Karakochan on 23, finishing 8th. Edmonton Rovers finishing in 9th place on 20 points. I feel really hard done by to finish second bottom with 20 points. And then AFC Edmonton, the Big Bagel, 0 points. I don't know what happened there, but they seem to have away walkovered most of their games. So, bottom place for them. Tough times. So top scorers, Francesco Amato from Ammonia Youth seconds, 20 goals. I don't know why it's showing Aaron Madison. He's a fantastic goal scorer, but he weren't top scorer in Division 2. Let's see if we can fix this. There we go. So it's actually Cy Samuel Clark from London Football School with 15 goals. Matthew Walsh, who ended up with 13 goals from 5 games for AFC Oakwood. Francesco Amato, who we talked about, he ended up with 12 goals in the league. He was very instrumental to their Division 6 treble winning season, either last season or season before. But yeah, he's been a very big part of their kind of rise up the table. Callum Conway Shaw, Sparta Finchley, he was very much instrumental in Sparta Finchley's kind of resurgence in the second half of the season, because they did struggle early on to get to the grips of 11-side football. And then Ardick Corby, someone who's been around for a long time, still getting a few goals for Muswell Hill. He got 11 goals in 14 games for them. So we're going to move on now into Division 1 and N21, going back to back, winning the league. They obviously won Division 6 last season, yeah. So Ammonia Youth was the season before that. N21 winning Division 6 last season and winning Division 1 this season. 34 points from their 16 games. Only lost 2, but they scored 53 goals in them 16 games. Very high-powered attack, N21. Highgate Albion seconds. Second place for the seconds. 33 points from their 16 games. Just falling on the last day. Defeat to Samson Spore, who ended up in third place. on 30 points. We'll just make a note about these two teams as well. Highgate Albion seconds with a tremendous achievement winning the Roger Jones Challenge Cup as well. So big congratulations to Glaudy and the boys there, Caleb as well, for winning that. That's a tremendous achievement for them. And Samson Spor ended up winning the Intermediate Cup. They beat Omonia Youth seconds 4-1 in the final. They also finished runners-up in the North London Challenge Cup as well, and the Middlesex Intermediate Cup, which they did win the season before, but they were unable to replicate that and retain a trophy. NLR in 4th place on 25 points, as were Nissi as well. Teams with very good high-powered attacks, but the defence letting them down. Albany Athletic, decent season in the league, finished in 6th. They did pick up a trophy as well. They ended up winning the John Motson Challenge Cup. They ended up beating Nissi in the final by 1-0. So Albany Athletic again picking up another trophy, following on from, I think they won the Intermediate Cup last season, so another trophy for them. Anatolians again sticking around. They came 7th, 5 wins, a draw and 10 losses. Again, another team in the league that didn't like to defend. There's been numerous teams in this league. I think 5 teams in this league that conceded 3 or more goals a game. Cryfield Athletic, another one of them, finishing on 11 points in their 16 games, and it was very much a season to forget for Sopranos. 6 points from their 16 games. They scored 43 goals as well, so they scored over 2 goals a game, but they conceded 87 goals in them 16 games. We've got to talk about this just now. They had one of the most unreal scorelines in not scorelines, but like sequence of scorelines. They've had an 8-2, they had a 6-8, they had an 8-6 defeat to NLR, they had a 5-4 win in the Cup, they had a 6-3 loss, they had a 7-2 loss, they had a 5-2 loss, they had a 7-3 win in the Cup, they had a 9-7 loss. How do you lose 9-7? What is going on? Olympia beat them 10-1. I'm surprised it was 10-1. I thought it was going to be at least 15 goals. They lost 9-2 to Highgate Albion seconds. They lost 6-3. They won 6-4. They lost 6-2. They've lost 4-1 as well. So a lot of entertainment. So if you're like a Sunday League fan and you just like going around to watch games and for entertainment, just to do something on the weekend, I recommend going to see Sopranos because there's a lot of goals in their games for sure. 130 goals in their games this season in 16 games. That is absolutely ridiculous. That's like 8 goals a game or something on average. Like full entertainment there. But yeah, finishing bottom is not what they wanted this season. Moving on into the Championship. 7 teams we only had this season. A couple of teams dropped out early on. I think it was meant to be 9 teams. Trent Park, what a season. What an outstanding season for Trent Park this season. Ended up winning the treble, London Trophy winners, beating AC Milano seconds. They won the Middlesex Premier Cup, beating Club Assyria in the final as well, and then winning the Championship. Tremendous achievement for Trent Park. And they will be playing in the Premier Division for their first time in the Barnet League. So tremendous, season for them. Second place was New Salamis. I think if they started to kind of get to grips with the league earlier, they probably would have won the league. Their early season form really kind of derailed them. They started off with, from the first 5 games or 6 games in the league, they had two losses and 2 draws. So they were 2-2-2 from their first 6 games in the league. They ended up winning 5 and drawing 1 of their next 6 to end the season strongly, but it was that start of the season that really derailed them. Ammonia Youth first, coming in third, 21 points from their 12 games, 7 wins and 5 losses. Komi Kabir hanging around there, 5 wins, 2 draws and 5 losses to finish fourth. AFC Rosa as well, 16 points from their 12 games, 25-25 in terms of goals scored and against. Pantera finishing second bottom, but again, decent season, 5 wins and 7 losses. You know, not a bad season for them in their first season in the championship. And then Gower Nutmegs finishing bottom. I don't know whether they're affiliated to the old Gower All-Stars or if they're a separate team, but obviously didn't have the same quality that Gower used to have, and they ended up finishing bottom of the league. Oh, one thing we didn't actually look through the top scorers of Division 1. So we're going to go through the top scorers of Division 1, and then we are going to go through the top scorers of the Championship. So Anatolians, Kaya Demir, again another solid season from 34 goals from 17 games. And then you had Aliuddin Shadi from NLR, 20 goals. I believe he's a winger as well. He looked very good in some of the NLR videos. Odi Basha from Nissi coming in third, 16 goals again. Another player that's, heralded a lot of good technique. I've heard he's a very technical player. Adetunji Adenei from Cryfield Athletics, third. He had 14 goals in 9 games. Probably the bright spark for Cryfield Athletic this season. And then George Lasanti, another one that's been around for a while, 13 goals from 16 games there for Albany Athletic. So we're going to go for the Championship. Scorers won't be too high here. And there we go. Because Jago Morris from Gower Nutmegs is actually the top scorer in the league with 11 goals from 7 games. And then you had Alex Georgiou, 9 goals for Komi Kabir. Yanni Policarpou, for Ammonia Youth. He scored 9 goals in 9 games. George Christoforou for New Salamis with 7 goals in 10 games. And then, there's a bunch of people with 7 goals. George Christoforou, Stefanos Sava from AFC Rosa, Salomis Souris from Ammonia Youth first, Zacharias Urabari from Trent Park, Rui da Costa from New Salamis, and then in 5th place, there's a couple of people on 6, Alex Villaris from Trent Park, Adam Shaw from AFC Rosa, and Lino Marinov from Pantera. So now we're going to go into the Premier Division, Premier moments in the Premier Division, and we had a new team on the trophy as North London Athletic finally, got their hands on the trophy. It's been coming. They were obviously in the Championship last time they played and ended up not playing last season and then coming back this season. But yeah, North London Athletic finally reaching the mountaintop of the Barnet Sunday Football League. Only the one trophy this season, which might be a bit disappointing for them. They'll probably be disappointed that they didn't get to the Middlesex Premier Cup final, losing out to Club of Syria in the semi-final, and obviously losing the Premier Cup final on penalties to Highgate Albion. Highgate Albion coming in second. Heartbreak loss for them on the final match day for them, losing to North London Athletic. Kind of a weird one for Highgate Albion because obviously they got massive standards and stuff like that. They only won one cup this season. Early exits in the London Cup. National Cup was, I think, the fourth round. They got knocked out of the Roger Jones Cup by North London Athletic as well. So standard-wise for them, I'm sure they're disappointed. Mehmetchik in third. Getting to the London Cup final and really not showing out in that one, to be fair. It was all one-way traffic as they lost 5-0 to Olympia in the final. They just didn't look at it as well, and Olympia did look at it and really punished them. Neapolis in fourth, 5 wins, 6 losses. I was really shocked as to why they were kind of included in the Premier Division, but they did show, signs of quality, and as we're going to see, 2 of the results were given to them, but they still battled well in a lot of games and showed their competitive edge. Olympia coming in 5th, not the best, league campaign. I think they had a couple of games voided, and I think if they won those games, they would end up in 3rd, or at least if they won one of those games. So I don't know if those games are getting played or they're just forgetting about them, because it doesn't really matter. But yeah, again, another season, another 2 cups. Finally getting their hands on the London Sunday Challenge Cup, and fully well deserved as well. They were dominant in that game. 5-0 was very lenient on Mehmetchik. Like, it could have been 7 or 8-0 in the end. Like, there was that much of a gap between the 2 teams on the night. And obviously they won the North London Challenge Cup as well, beating Samsonspor in the final 3-1, I believe. So a double for them. And again, they were probably disappointed it weren't a treble, because they did fall to Highgate seconds in the Cup final, in the Roger Jones Challenge Cup final. But still a double, still a sensational season for them in the cup competitions. Millwall Club de Football, 3 wins, 8 losses. Again, I'm not sure whether we've seen Mill Hill Club de Football hit their ceiling. I don't think they are going to progress any higher, in my opinion. Obviously still a team with a lot of quality, still a team that's worthy of playing in the Premier Division. I just don't see them being able to get to that level where they're challenging the top teams in the division. And then Enfield Club de Football, don't know what happened there. Great season last season, promoted Premier Cup champions as well. Players engaged and, wanting to play, and then this season, play availability down the toilet. I believe they had games where they were fielding ineligible players or something like that, and just packed up the season and gave in really. But yeah, that's all of it, and we're just gonna finally look at the top scorers in the league. Daniel Coldridge coming back for North London Athletic, 13 goals in these 8 games. Richard Enning and Theo Ofori of Highgate Albion first in second place. We had EJ Stewart of Mehmetchik with 8 goals in these 5 games. In fourth place, George Lataya, the captain of North London Athletic, with 7 goals in 9 games as well, and does all the gritty work for them. Tremendous player. And then Yannick James with 5 goals in 8 games. He was very prolific in the other competitions as well. If we look at the full picture, which we are going to look at as well, he was very good in the cup competitions. So we're going to look at that if we can. He was very good he ended up with 20 goals in 21 games. So we're just going to run through all competitions. We'll do top 10. So top 10. Philip Eiffel of Belstone Vets, former Millwall player. He ended up with 19 goals from 12 games. Yannick James, as we talked about, 20 goals from 21 games in his first season for Olympia. Obviously played for Gower last season. Francesco Amato, 20 goals in 20 games. Romain Bogle, 22 in 20 for Enfield Albion. Then you had Daniel Coldridge with 25 in 16 games for NLA. Tommy Pigeon with 26 in 22 for Whetstone. You had Marius Patilli from Borelli Camden, 26 in 24. Aaron Madison had 31 in 26. Then you had Aliuddin Shadi from NLR. He had 35 in 23. And then this season's Golden Boot winner in all comps in the Barnet League was Kaya Demir. 42 goals for him in 21 games. Now we're just going to run through the cup competitions. We're going to start off in the Veterans Cup. And Trent Park picked up that. They beat North Ballers Vets in the final. 2-2 it was in the final, and they won 4-5, 5-4 in penalties. In the Lee Scott Challenge Cup, we discussed that earlier. London Lions Vets 1, Belstone Vets 0. Tremendous achievement for them. They had 11 men as well. They didn't have any subs, and they pulled that game out. In the John Motson Challenge Cup, we've also discussed that as well. Albany Athletic beating Nissy 1-0 in the final there. In the Intermediate Cup, it was Samson Sport pulling off a very impressive 4-1 win over Ammonia Youth. Seconds. In the Junior Cup, it was a 1-0 win for AC Finchley over Whetstone. Tremendous achievement for us in that. We held firm after getting an early goal, and Whetstone just couldn't break us down. In the North London Challenge Cup, it was another win for Olympia. Big win for Olympia, 3-1 over Samson Sport. In the Premier Cup, it went down to penalties. Highgate Albion 0, North London Athletic 0. Highgate Albion winning 6-5 on penalties there. In the Richard Martin Memorial Cup, it also went down to penalties. And after a 1-1 draw, we ended up picking up a win 5-4 on penalties in that one. And then the Roger Jones Challenge Cup, the trophy for all the league. Highgate Albion seconds, ending up the winners in that one, beating Olympia in the final. Where is it? It was 2-1 in that one. And just going through, congratulations to Olympia, to Trent Park, and to AFC Muswell Hill for their London County Cup triumphs, and to Belstone Vets and Trent Park on their Middlesex County Cup victories. So that's it. 44 minutes. So a lovely kind of watch if you don't have anything to do over the next few days and just want to listen to a chill video. So that's it. Join us next year, where we'll have more Barnet Sunday League football content. See you later.